though.
Why?
Because now you started recording and now it's taking up the whole...
Stuck there?
Well, it was.
No, I take it away
Oh,
from you.
don't be a dick. Oh my... Fuck you.
God.
I hate this vibe, actually. You ask me to play the longest game ever, which is Act 1 of Dragon Age 2 in a week.
Yeah.
And then you bully me before the cameras are rolling.
I specifically waited till the cameras were rolling to bully you.
You did. Hey, audience, Dillin was so weepy, sad, a mess before the cameras are rolling and was like, I love you so much. Oh, man, I wish we could be together. Cameras started rolling. They start saying, fuck you, bitch. I'm better than you. And this is the dynamic online. And that is the truth. I'm here with hard-hitting journalism. Call me Quinn's Corner, motherfucker.
Here's what you just said. You're saying I'm Robin Eckberg and I have no respect for kayfabe. I'm fucking...
What is that? What's kayfabe?
Okay, so it is a professional wrestling term that refers to keeping the persona alive in all spaces outside of the wrestling rink. So, when a wrestler maintains their wrestling persona on their social media or when they're caught out in public, that is kayfabe. And our dynamic...
Why did you look at me like I was scum because I didn't know what the fuck that wrestling term was? Do you wrestle? You feel like you've had a wrestling moment. Have you wrestled?
You don't know this about me?
Don't make anything up to me right now.
I'm not
I will
going to.
catch your shit. I will throw
I will
it back
not.
at
I
you.
don't have to make anything up because my two main characters, Diana Steele and Christina Blackwell, very different. Very different, and and somewhere out there in the world, perhaps some people who listen to the show, it's possible know me from those days. But yeah,
shit.
I was part of two distinct environments in the wrestling world. One was a backyard federation, and one was an e-federation. Also, two very different things.
Well, the e-federation was online forums, right? I knew that you had a wrestling persona on online forums. But the backyard one is interesting to me.
Yeah, that was briefer. Mostly because there were more drugs involved than I thought there would be. So that didn't last long for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still fun. Still fun. I mean, it's all the same thing. It's all just a role playing game. Just there's a physical element.
With punching.
You learn some tricks. But
Damn.
Yeah.
Every day I learn something new about you, and my love for you grows deeper.
Yeah. I was a high flyer for the fans listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
and I was briefly part of a tag team.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Who was your tag team partner?
My brother, Trevor Blackwell.
Okay.
Yeah. Not
in real life, though.
No.
No. Why are you saying that? You have siblings. I know you do.
Yeah, but not.
But you said brother so casually.
In my I'm trying. All right. So again, kayfabe. It's we're talking in character.
Don't do this. It's so hard to have a conversation with you, not in general, but whilst we're recording.
I know. It's really as it should be. I am realizing that I just treated you for not knowing kayfabe the same way that those backyard boys treat each other when one of them doesn't know the name of a very popular cheese. So it's
we are filling the podcast equilibrium.
The dynamic is working.
worked up over nothing really fast and ribs the other. That's so good. I love that. Hi, my name is Robin. I have finished one Dragon Age game.
And I'm Dillin. I've finished all the Dragon Age games a million times.
And this is Dorkspawn.
Dorkspawn.
We Dorkspawn. We are playing Dragon Age 2. This episode, oh boy, is a beefy one because we have done all of Act 1, which is a pretty meaty chunk of a game. It was just very long.
Sure.
And although it seems like it's very long, I do understand why the choice of doing this book club style is all of Act 1. Yeah. Because there's like...
Act 1 is one story. Yeah.
The mission is get 50 gold. And it would be fucking impossible to be like, okay, you need to hit these fucking quests in this order, and then it like book clubbing it would be impossible.
It would be absolutely impossible, and also I just wouldn't straight up do it. But also it, yes, there is a lot in Act 1. And Act 1 is notorious. It is the longest of the 3 acts of Dragon Age 2 by a good chunk. And part of that is because so from last episode, you know that we've entered Kirkwall. We're now in Kirkwall. We're living in Lowtown in our shitty little hovel with our broke uncle who lost all our family fortune. But we're new here. So and this is like our first full year as citizens of Kirkwall. We lived a year as refugees, like in camps outside, and now we're like fully in the city. So now like this act is not only like kind of, it's about establishing yourself in the city, getting like to know people, like you meet your companions, you meet all the people that are going to be with you through the rest of this game. You get like the foundation of like what this city is and like what its problems are and like what people here are about. So it really is like laying a ton of foundation. But in terms of like the meaningful quests that are advancing the plot, there's not really that much. And so I feel like it's like the acts in this game, like if we're gonna correspond them to anything, it's the whole Orzammar like sequence where it's like in Dragon Age Origins where there's so much happening, but it really is just like one story,
I guess. I agree with that. I might closer relate it to Awakening, where it's like Awakening has like 2 missions as the lead thing, but it just has 100 million side stories,
side quests and
makes
things
you
like that.
Just takes you fucking ages doing all the side quests. Because there are so many side missions, I have lots of notes. Okay. But my notes do hard fall off after a little while.
That's totally fine. I got pretty decent notes. I think so. Oh fuck! I forgot what I was gonna say.
Do you want to talk about how we're gonna hit this in terms of talking about it?
No. We're just gonna talk. We're just gonna
shoot the shit and talk about it. Nice.
Yeah. So we kind of got at the end of the prologue. We have already talked about meeting Bartrand Tethris.
Yes.
And Varric Tethris. So Varric Tethris is our very first like companion outside of Aveline, who we met in the prologue. And our sister, we both have the same sister. So Bethany, so we don't have any differences there. Bartrand gave us this quest. Obviously, he wants us to go on this Deep Roads expedition. Varric tells us he
wants 50 gold and a map before we do it. He wants those 2 things because the Deep Roads have all opened up because all the Darkspawn have essentially retreated because this is the end of the Blight. so there's like a huge swath of zone which is like free now, and it's like, well, now's the time to like get all of the money that we can and go on these giant expeditions. So he wants 50 gold and a map. Varric is like, I know where to get a map, or I know someone who might know how to get a map, and we can get 50 gold by just doing shit for people constantly. Right. Which by the end, by doing every single quest in this game, I had like 130 gold. Like, I was laughing. So it's like, okay, yeah, you can have 50 of the 130 that I have. I'm not using this for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gold is like not as easy to come by though as it is in the other games in this. Like, you're picking up. It's the setting makes itself very apparent right away, like that this is not this is a place of like pretty severe, I would say pretty severe like economic disparity, not deep roads, not like Orzammar disparity where you've got like Dusktown and
well, there is quite specifically Low Town and High Town in this.
There is, yeah. But Low Town still has like people are not like Orzammar, like Low Town. Orzammar's Dusktown is people are like branded and like are not like
sure.
You know, it's like it's a little bit more like a human city today in the real world, and less like
well,
fantasy bad.
Whilst I was walking around Dusktown in Orzammar, I wasn't getting jumped by approximately 120 bandits every 20 minutes.
There we have it, everyone.
And I swear to God, the fact that Lowtown isn't just like you're wading through knee-high blood all the time is fucking crazy.
Did I not tell you? The body count in this game
is insane. When you said that, I was like, yeah, sure. And then I had my third fight, and I was like, is every fucking fight going to be... Because it's almost every single fight in this. This is a criticism. Almost every single fight is like 3 waves. You have the initial bout, and then a bunch of people just come out of nowhere. You kill those, and then a bunch of people come out of nowhere, and then you kill them, and then that's the fight.
That is...
If it's there's one guy getting mugged in the street, and 50 men turn up.
100... It doesn't make any sense. I love it. I think it's so funny, but it is, I think, one of the more valid criticisms of DA2 is that the fights are pretty... nonsensical. This game could have come up with a way to give you XP that was not kill
ridiculous
people.
Yeah,
I think that they could have managed it.
It's also there is a thing where I still like the combat in this, and I don't know if it's because there's like every fight has 3 waves of enemies, and I find that like grating after a while, or it's the fact I have a Templar and I have 4 things I can do. Warrior, and I have 4 things I can do. But even though combat feels better than Origins, I do find it less enjoyable as a whole. And I don't know if that's because I'm doing a warrior and my character is just hitting a guy with a stick auto attack. Or if it's because
you might want to, because the combat in Origins is, I think, fine, but astronomically difficult, like even on the easiest setting. I think you may find this game more satisfying at a higher difficulty.
I have it on normal at the minute. I did move it to easy for a bit, just because then it makes it easier to just like get through. I wanted the combat to be done quicker rather than I wanted it to be more engaging because of the amount of combat that's in it, and because we have to play a lot in the time that we're doing. And I was like, you know what, chuck it on easy and I can just clean through. And then I moved it back eventually when I realized that There wasn't that much difference. After I like leveled up a few times, and it's like, okay, I have some more abilities I can do. Sure.
I personally am like, get through the combat quicker because it is the biggest flaw of the game. You know, it's not that interesting. And it kind of doesn't make sense like half the time. So yeah, skipping it is, or like getting through it as fast as you can, I think makes total sense. So, but fuck it, the combat's meh. The story though.
Who cares about the combat?
Because that's what we're really here for.
All right.
Because this is I'm gonna start, but there are some things I specifically cannot wait to hear about from you. So we have a couple of things, and there's a lot here you can do in like kind of any order. But like, so we've already met Aveline, Bethany, and Varric. Those are the people we start out with going into Act One. And so you have your full party going into Act One. But then you start to meet people as part of these like little introductory quests to the town. Who did you meet first? And we can kind of start there, maybe.
Okay, let me check.
Also, say your character's name again?
Florence.
Florence Hawke. Okay, cool.
So my first note, just because I don't want to move past it too quickly. I walked out of Aveline's, like, the Chantry zone, or like the, not Chantry, but the Viscount's, like, manor.
The Viscount's estate. Yeah.
I walked out and I found someone selling Andraste's ashes.
I also, yeah.
And because he's like, it's verified by Brother Genitivi and all this shit. And then the quest line is like kind of soft. It's not like a hard, like, oh, go deal with this. But you do get a minor quest. You go and you fight those like scammers, and then you move back, and then you after you fight them, you then go to a guard, and the guard's like, yeah, everyone is trying to scam people with this shit. And I thought that was really fun.
That's fun,
I was like, oh my god, that is because of me, because I, had this whole thing of like, should I fucking kill this guy? Nah, I won't. And then my credits were like, everyone found out about it after Brother Genitivi told everyone, and then I fucking walking around Kirkwall, and people are just selling Andraste, like fake Andraste's ashes to cure any ailment. Man, it's the best.
Yep.
It's fucking awesome.
Love that.
All right, what did I do? So I had that. I then went home. I spoke to just all the family. It turns out that your dad is a mage, so your family is naturally very magical. I thought that was cool.
Which is also why your mom was like a little bit shunned.
Yeah.
And
for like
why
leaving
she
everything to marry an apostate. Yeah, which I think is pretty neat. I have a comment of there are way too many DLC items. It's absolutely barbaric how many they give you. I think it's insane. You have a
chest at your home, which is nice. We didn't have that in Origins.
That's true, and I did figure that out on the third chest after I was picking stuff up, and I left, and I went to the shopkeep, and I was selling all this shit for a copper. I went back into the house, and then on the third time, I was like, what's this? And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's a fucking chest. Just chuck everything in there. That frustrated me because I don't like DLC items, and what frustrates me more is that I'm an idiot with it, because I was like, well, why would I'm just gonna put on the DLC items now. Because then it's like, that's obviously the best in slot for a while. But now I've not taken any of the shit off. I just have DLC items and I'm walking around, and I was super overpowered for the first little bit, and I'm still pretty overpowered. And that frustrated me. Because I did the thing that I don't like, which is adding immediate as soon as you start game DLC items. Anyway.
I didn't use them this time, which again, this is another thing that I always do. I always get all the DLC shit, put on the best shit in the world in the game, and I power through.
And the weapons and armor gets better when you level up. So it's like, this might just be the best in slot, and I'm not going to take this off for the whole game.
Yeah.
Which
it is, I will say, the DLC stuff in this game is a solution to a problem, which is that the items in this game are like in the base game without the DLC, because of the fact that like your companions don't really upgrade their items like
they don't
much.
get new armor. They have one armor set.
So yeah, so like there's just like there's a little bit less than what people were used to in Origins, where you were customizing everyone a lot. Everyone has their weapon sets, and then you can armor people, but everyone's got their like
opposite. You can put weapons on people. Everyone has their armor sets.
That is what I meant. Except it's Varric that you can't do anything with, because he's Bianca,
yes. Which is cool.
Yeah.
I
do like Bianca.
I thought that was fun. Anyway, that was my problem with that. The first thing I did is I re-raided my old family home because it's been taken over by slavers.
Ooh, that's the first thing you did?
That was the first thing I did, because I went home and I spoke to my mum, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, here's the thing. This is where our house is." Yep. So then me and Bethany went, and then we were like, "Oh shit!" Fucking.
And you find the will in there.
Yeah, and then turns out that he fucking lied about it. Our uncle. So I chastise him. I hate him. I actually didn't care about him last week, because you were like, "Oh my god, I fucking hate him," but I hadn't spoken to him, so I was like, I mean, I guess he's bad. But then I spoke to him this time. I was like, "Oh, you do suck, actually. I do condemn you to death." So I had a lot of fun with Red Hawke during my conversations with this man.
Hell yes, good.
I'm keeping her red. So I have. I'll go into this a little more later. I have had such a hard time figuring out who my Hawke is. Because I wanted her to be really pro-Templar, anti-mage, and the game makes it so crazily difficult to like neatly put yourself into that mindset, because it's like your dad was a mage, your sister's a mage, you have 2 additional mage companions who join you, and it's like it's so hard to be anti-mage for me in this. So I was like, okay, instead of being anti-mage, she is very anti everyone else outside of her immediate circle. So I am Red Hawke for every single quest line, unless it's a teammate asking me, and then I'm Blue Hawke. I'm like positive, and hell yeah, let's do it. And like family members I'm blue with as well.
Yeah, which is like, it's very much it's giving conservative with a gay son.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Because I do still want her to suck a little bit. The problem is this game is so charming, and it makes everyone the most lovable people. And oh my god, I love.
What a fucking weird thing to say.
Oh my god, I love it. I love Hawke in this. She's just cool. She's just chatting, and she's just like, even her authoritative red options are like nice most of the time.
No, I like Hawke. Everybody's a little bit problematic and weird.
Oh, you prude. Yeah, they're problematic and weird, but they're like in a fun
that's what I
writing
love
way.
about no, I'm saying /positive. I love I love that about them, but that they're not like sweet beans. But
they're fun, but they're like, I can't remember what my original point is, but I like them all very deeply, and I think they're all very cool.
All right, let's meet them though. Let's meet.
Yes, let's meet them. So,
who'd you meet first? Do you know?
Weirdly, Sebastian, who is a DLC character.
Oh wow!
Who you don't get to join the party in Act One.
No,
as far as I'm aware.
No.
But he asked you to do something, so I met him. I spoke to him. He told me to do shit. And then I went out adventuring for a little bit, and then I met Meryl. Meryl was my first.
That's your first. That is a logical first. I don't know why I didn't do it till the end, and I went, or almost the end. I think my in character justification is that like my Hawke is still a little bit like suspicious, because this is what the witch asked us to do.
Yeah,
and like yes, the witch saved our lives, but like, who knows what comes of like fulfilling like a witch's request, you know, like someone that powerful that can turn into a dragon, like that's not nothing.
I will admit I have a minor problem. This is just a little thing about the game. You get so many quests in this that most of the time I was just going to the check marks because I was like, okay, I'll go to that check marks because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quests in this area. And then I went there just to like clean through all of them. And then I accidentally was like, oh, it's a Dalish camp. Okay. Oh, this is because Flemeth sent me here. It's like I figured that out later. And a lot of the quests that I ended up doing, I didn't know what I was doing until I was speaking to the people. And I was like, oh, yes, I remember getting this quest. Yeah. This is doing this.
And I do like that. I think I like that as a Dragon Age 2 specific thing, because I feel like not knowing what the fuck you're doing and just sort of stumbling into like people's problems feels very right. All right, so you went to the Dalish camp.
Went to the Dalish camp, which
is the Flemeth asked you to show this amulet to the keeper, Marithari there.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and then, of course, as I just said, you meet Merrill, who's played by fucking Eve Miles, who's Gwen from Torchwood, who I fucking love, and I didn't know she played it. And I got so fucking excited because I love Torchwood. Torchwood is my favorite Doctor Who thing. And so Gwen is great. And the fact that she's not like a recurring like baseline Doctor Who character, like, is upsetting to me because I think she's so cool. Because she sucks as a person and I love her so much.
It's the best.
However, made me think, last time we made the comment that we think that Kirkwall and the Free Marches is America. However, in this, so far, all elves are Welsh. All Dalish elves are Welsh. So, and it's England, then. Free Marches must be England.
Well, so...
right? Because it's like, yes, you could say that, like, General Ferelden is England.
Yeah.
But also, the way that it's like the subjugation of the Welsh is, and it's like there is so many, a lot of like minority characters in this, minority in a Dragon Age sense, are Gaelic. You have a lot of Irish, and again, all Dalish being Welsh is like a whole thing, and that's a thing that England did do to the Welsh. Is I mean, they've done it to all the Gaelic countries, but it just made me think maybe instead Kirkwall is like London with all of the fucking
no, you might be right.
The chantry and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, the fact that all Dalish are Welsh, huge for me. Fucking love the Welsh. I lived there for pretty much the entirety of my 20s in Cardiff. It's very near and dear to my soul. So the fact that Merrill is Welsh is awesome. I love her to a stupid degree.
I know. I think it is interesting because this is now this game. So Origins, we have almost no like uniform characterization of people who come from X place. Yeah. Everybody sounds the same, looks the same, acts like it's like very there's no like location based diversity whatsoever in Origins. This game starts to introduce like some kind of, here are some cultures that like that exist, and where we're putting some effort into differentiating,
and it's great. It's so fun. Merrill is being kicked out of her Dalish camp. She's hiding something when you come up to her, and it's a thing that meta-wise I know what it is, but we don't know at the time. because she's looking at a thing and doing something spooky, and then you walk up and she hides it. Yeah. You go to deliver. Go.
I'm so sorry. Meryl is the first of her clan, which means that she's the only other person.
Right hand is going to become a keeper.
Yeah, she's the only other person in the clan that is a mage, and will take over for the keeper one day.
But she's getting kicked out. Right.
That's what she should be doing. Yeah.
She kept butting heads with the keeper about something. Does she say specifically what it is?
During this, so the keeper, we learn that the keeper's role is not just to be like the mage of the clan, but to be like the knowledge keeper. Like they are
sure,
they're taking all of like the ancient history of the clan. Meryl is hiding something. Well, I guess she doesn't say it outright.
We just know that she's leaving the clan and it's her decision. And
she wants you to help her do a ritual. And the clan very clearly doesn't want her to do this. The keeper clearly doesn't want her to do this. She wants to do this no matter what. And she does. And someone shows up.
Flemeth?
Yeah.
Yeah. She does a little blood magic.
Yep.
Cheeky little blood magic. Flemeth shows up, and Flemeth's like, because you would speak to her, and she's like, well, I hid a tiny piece of myself in this amulet, because if I know my daughter, there's nothing of me left. So I've decided to hide me here, referencing the fact that Morrigan wants her to die, and she assumed correctly because I did kill her. And now she's back again. She's back alive because she hid a tiny piece of her soul inside of the amulet, and then flew, and then she turns into a big old dragon, and she's like, well, I got business to attend to, bye-bye. She turns into a dragon, she flies away. Which is fun. And then that, I believe, is all that is to that quest. She's just like, all right, thank you, bye-bye.
So then the keeper says, take Meryl with you. She's not welcome here.
Yeah.
So, but then you bring her back, and the only place for her, and now we get into like some for real serious fantasy bigotry, is that like you bring her back to Kirkwall, she must live in the alienage.
Yeah.
She's not allowed to live anywhere else. And so now we have to kind of contend with that as the game continues. All right. So you met Meryl. You love her.
Oh, we all fucking love Meryl. Who did you meet first?
I met Fenris first because I know.
I met him last. My God.
I know. Oh God. I have a habit of romancing Meryl. But I think we're going for it with this gentleman.
So I went into this game. I had only seen pictures of this man. I've never seen him. I never heard him before or anything like that.
I know.
I 100% genuinely. He's an elf.
Yeah.
He has tattoos put on him by an abusive master. He has white hair. I genuinely thought he would have sounded exactly like Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3. I thought he'd be he'd have like a little affected voice. He'd be a little twinky guy. I thought he'd be a rogue, but no, he's voiced by the guy who voices Balthier in Final Fantasy 12. That man's hot as fuck. I fucking love this
rumbly.
Dude. Oh my God,
voice.
He's hot. I'm rock hard thinking about it, dude.
I know.
I fucking love this guy.
Unbelievable. So you meet Fenris, it's an unassociated quest, or it seems like it, that you get that there
Which they all kind of do. Which I think is cool.
That's kind of true. Yeah. It's like you're asked to go like check out this problem, and there's a lot that's set up where it's like you're just taking these little jobs to to get money, which you need in order to do this deep roads expedition. So you are just taking these little jobs, and we've already established that you're doing crime, so it's kind of like, yeah, I'll do whatever. So you get a quest. I think you get it via letter in the mail called Bait and Switch. And there is something going on in the alienage. And when you get there, it's clearly a trap, and the person you're looking for is not there. And then you like go into the house, and when you come out, you're being attacked by, like you said, like these waves of people that turn out to be slavers. And then when you kill them all, Fenris like shows up and confronts you, and you have this like just such dramatic like introduction to him. His tattoos are like glowing, and he's beautiful, and he is like so grumpy and so bitter, and hates mages,
hates them,
everything to do with mages, because he is from Tevinter, where the mages are completely in charge and have all of the power consolidated, and have apparently, as elaborated from the brief introduction to them we get in Origins, use that to basically be slavers and imperialists and stuff like that. So you help this man, and you obviously like are against slavery, hopefully very, very aggressively. And then he joins your party very like reluctantly, and then asks you to help him try to track down the man who, Denarius, the man who was his former master that put these marks on him. And he has an estate in Hightown, in like the fancy ass part of Kirkwall. And so you lead your way there, and you meet him there, and help him break into this place and loot it for everything. And Denarius is not there.
And it's full of demons as well. His house is full of demons.
Full of demons.
Yeah.
Magic. So I think it's interesting. I think it's very interesting that you were like, it makes it easy to be very sympathetic to mages in this game. I feel like this game is constantly trying to tell us that magic is bad.
No. Yes, I agree on that. I think it makes it hard for Hawke to be against mages, with Bethany in the party.
With
it's like,
having family.
Even when I'm clicking red, which is what I was doing most of the time, she's still like, yeah, but mages aren't all bad. Like, that's most of, like, pretty much every single time she says it with a caveat of like, well, not all mages are bad. Like, yeah, those guys suck, but then I have my sister, and I have, like all this stuff, and she's never like, oh yeah, I fully don't trust them. Which I think is an interesting thing, which is like, and it's like, yes, it's putting into question generally, but with the like, you have 2 to 3 options of dialogue every conversation piece, and even then it's not like a hard, I'm saying this, this is her stance rather than this is what she's saying. Anyway.
Yeah.
what I think is fun in this game that you find out, you would have found out by this point. In Origins, your whole team is at camp because you're a team, and so you have a camp, and that's where everyone is.
Right. Yeah.
In this, Meryl is in the alienage. Like, she has a home there, and that's where you go to check, to go speak to her. Fenris is in the manor, in this manor, because
he moves right into Daenerys' manor, and I love that.
He's gonna come back one day, and I'm gonna be sat atop a throne of bodies. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, buddy."
Love that.
So if you want to go speak to them, you have to go to those places if they're not in your party. Which is awesome. I only say this because it's important to my little story. After Meryl, I found Anders next, because now this is also this. Oh, it's such a minor criticism. It's not a real. It's kind of a real criticism. Varric is like, I know a Grey Warden. Let's go meet the Grey Warden. And then you go and you meet Anders, who is in Dragon Age Awakening.
Mm-hmm.
In Dragon Age Awakening, which I loaded my save from, I did not make Anders a Grey Warden. And I Googled it, because I was like, he's not a Grey Warden, though. Is he lying? Is he stupid? And then everyone was like, nope, it's just one of the things that they just, ignored. You have the choice in Awakening, but the canon run is that he is always a Grey Warden.
It's somewhat it's somewhat a retcon. It's not the worst one that happens, but it is one of the
which
retcons.
is a little upsetting to me, because
for sure, I get it.
It kind of planted it. It's fine. I would just rather not have had the option, though. If they weren't going to give it to me, don't give it to me. However, you meet Anders. Anders wants to go confront a mage friend of his who is who's hanging out with a lot of Templars, because as polar opposite to Fenris, Anders fucking hates Templars and loves mages. You go and you find them. Anders, you find out that his friend is a Tranquil, and then Anders, when you get rushed by Templars, his eyes go crazy, and he does a big spell, kills all of the Templars, fixes his friend of being a Tranquil, and then later you're like, hey, what the fuck was that? And he was like, well, I have the spirit of justice in me. And I'm like, oh my god, Justice is back. My main fucking boy is here. Yeah! And I'm so stoked. My favorite companion in fucking Origins is back, and he's in arguably my favorite companion.
I know. When you said that to me in that episode, my heart was pounding. I was so excited when you told me that those were your two favorite companions in Awakening.
Screamed. I have written down Justice in big letters. I got so fucking excited.
I've been waiting weeks for this specifically.
So now this is a fun thing. This is the reason why I wanted to just jump to my second companion who I picked up, because Origins, I knew who I was going to romance. It's Morrigan, because she has the interesting thing at the end that happens, so I wanted to do that. I know who I'm romancing in Inquisition. Spoilers, I'm romancing the one that has interesting implications at the end of the game.
Oh, sure.
This one, I know genuinely nothing about the game. I don't know anything about the romances. I know very little about the characters. I need to romance Fenris, Anders, and Meryl all at the same time. I love them all so deeply that it makes me look stupid. I also want to romance Sebastian because I love him very much. He's just very handsome to me and a Templar, and I don't know anything else about him.
Can I tell you something? I think it needs to be said out loud because I don't want you to have a disappointing experience. You know how in Origins you accidentally romance everyone, like just by speaking and by being a nice person. This game, is exceptionally hard to romance people. I mean, some are easier than others. Like some people it is just be nice to them. But like if you want to romance Fenris, if you want to romance Anders, like the companions that have strong opinions about things,
you have to do the opinions.
You've gotta.
And it's fun because I kind of know that. And a thing that, because I'm into not having, here's the thing about this game. We have one more character to put into our party. You know what? Let's put a brief pin in this because we have one more person to cover, and it's Isabella. Yeah. Who you meet in the Hanged Man, and she is a fucking pirate captain, and is also again one of the coolest people I've ever fucking seen ever. She's fucking awesome. You meet her, she's cool as fuck. She's like, hey, do this crime for me, and I'm like, all right. And then you do that, and it's like you need to help someone she knows smuggle something in or like do a crime. And she also joins you. Here's the thing. In Origins, every character for me was a hit or miss. You know, Sten is fine. I can take him or leave him. Shale I didn't like very much. I wish Orgrin would die in front of me. I hate him. Wynn is fine.
Whoa.
Wynn's fine. She's fine.
You didn't get Wynn's quest till the very end,
of the game.
I get it. But
yeah. And it's like, Morrigan's pretty good. I love Liliana. She's great. I also think Zevran is fine. He didn't really do much for me. I think he's okay.
Goodness.
I know, right? It's crazy. It's just not a lot of people hit for me. Every single companion is one of the greatest companions I've ever seen in this game, and I hate it. Yeah. So I was talking to Mo about it because she came as I was playing. People just idly talking to each other, and I was like, I actually think that this game has better companions than Baldur's Gate 3. I agree with. Yeah. I think every companion is the fucking best. I switch out my party every fight. Not even every mission. Like, I do a fight, and then I'm like, okay, and then I go into the nearest inn, and I switch out the party. I have, like, the entire mage team, and I have the entire non-magic team. And then, admittedly, I don't have Avalyn in a lot of them, but then I move her in and out occasionally. Yeah. I then have, when we went into the Deep Roads, I have the team I thought would have the most interesting interactions because everyone is talking all the time. Their friendships are consistently in flux, like constantly, and they're always talking and
developing,
it's great.
The banter in this game is great.
And it's I need a mod to allow me to have every single party member follow me at all times because I get frustrated. I get itchy if I'm doing something and then it's like, man, I wish I had Meryl here to talk to, and then I have to go back and then switch them out, and I'm like, this game is so fucking great.
Here's what I think is happening, because I think all of the companions except Oghren, who can die, are in Origins are that interesting. I think that they don't have a good opening pitch, some of them, and then you are less likely to want to bring them along, and a lot of their interesting character development happens in that banter time when you have them.
Yeah.
In 2, everyone has a strong personality from the jump. Yeah. A strong intro, a strong like ideology, like everybody has like a strong opinion on something that really makes them stand out, and so then you are more interested in taking them around and switching your party and stuff like that.
And they're just like, all of them are genuinely like it just so consistently interesting that after I finished this and I did all the we did the Deep Roads and we finished Act 1, I opened the game and I just kind of left it to hear them banter with each other.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome. everything is so good with all of the characters, and I like it's insane to me how much I love them. And I don't know who I'm going to romance, but I'm fine with that because I know I'm going to replay this game again, and I know I'm going to do very specific runs with a specific route of people.
This game is for that.
It's great. I think it's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Yes. So now we've met all of our companions,
our team,
and we've completed Flemeth's quest, which was her request for payment for delivering us to Kirkwall.
And we have now because of Anders, we have a Grey Warden map of the Deep Roads.
Correct. So now we need the gold, but then we also encounter a couple of things that set up some like larger overarching themes in Kirkwall. One is that we meet somebody in the alienage. We meet Ariani, who reports that her son Fainriel has run away.
Yes.
Because he was showing signs of magic and didn't want to go to the circle. And we have Templars who are like repeatedly constantly telling us how like they need to track down these like runaway mages and bring them back. But then when we find where we're directed in this like search to find Fainriel, we find Samson, who is a Templar, I think, who says that the where these like runaway mages are being like kind of shuttled is like a dock known to be used by slavers trying to like shuttle in and out. So there's like a sub issue happening here where like the circle is so bad that mages are trying to avoid going there. And in avoiding going there, they are so vulnerable that they're possibly being picked up by slavers and being taken to Winter. Yeah. Or wherever. So,
but also even kind of on top of that, they're in such emotional distress that they have such a high likelihood of becoming abominations because
so when you found Fainriel on the Wounded Coast, what did you do with Fainriel?
I originally told him that I wasn't going to give him to the Circle, and then when we got back to Kirkwall, I did give him up to the Circle, and I told him to go, and I got the Templars involved because I still was playing that Templar good angle, which then I turned into a Florence is so self-serving, and now what I ended up doing also is she's extremely self-serving to herself and her team, her like crew of people. No one else matters. Everything is going to be for them. But that lack of a spine and set morals also means that if it's Mage Party, which is Bethany, Anders, and Meryl, she does pro mage stuff. And then if she has Isabel, Varric, and Fenris, she does anti-mage stuff. Because she's all about she cares about what people perceive her as. Ooh. And the only people she cares about are the people that she's next to right then. It's like her team. So her morals are so constantly flip-flopping everywhere, which means that to everyone, at the end of Act 1, she's neutral. She doesn't have no one is like for or against her. She's like, everyone is almost dead in the center. She's like, everyone trusts her, but no one believes in her. It's like that's kind of the angle that she has going on because she hasn't grown to believe in anything yet.
Yeah.
She just believes in herself and the people around her. So
can I give you a minor spoiler about the friendship mechanic in this game?
Yes.
So you know how instead of like having like a like how much they like you bar, you have rivalry and friendship.
Yeah.
You can have like a close relationship up to and including romance on either end of the spectrum with the companions, not in the neutral position. You can have like a rivalry romance and a friendship romance with these characters, and they have different arcs to them to have them.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yes. So staying neutral
is not a positive
is not
thing.
safe. It's not a safe
place.
Zone.
I do appreciate that. I appreciate you telling me that because I did a lot of things that I was doing. Because the thing in Origins, people can leave at any point. And I'm a little worried of people doing that in this because I like all the characters so much. So then I was like a little scared of doing like controversial options.
I think most of the things that people leave for is not being utilized. If you never take them on quests and don't do their personal quests, they eventually leave you. I'm pretty sure that's what
fun.
It is, yeah.
However, I like the story at the minute of the fact that she
I like it too.
Doesn't have any morals. And then that's like because pretty much everyone, I mean that's kind of that's Dragon Age 2 is everyone has such strong morals and like has a thing that they believe in, and I like the fact that their leader doesn't have anything that she believes in.
Yeah.
And it's like it's the kind of thing where the whole crew are like, you know, she needs to get them because she's very quickly becoming important.
Also, leader my ass. Like you're nothing. You're nobody. Like everybody here, almost everybody here has been here longer than you, except for Fenris and Meryl. Aveline is captain of the guard or like whatever. Like you're not shit. Like you're not.
Well, there's this one friend that you have who doesn't have any morals or doesn't have any like anything that she believes in, and you're like, well, I mean, I guess I'll go help her out on this one quest. Yes, I know that, but like it's like she becomes the leader of this small crew because exactly, and like that's the thing that I'm kind of playing with, and she's getting a little bit more. As I figure out where I want to take the character and take her, I'm figuring out what her morals are and what she does believe in. It's weird, though, at the minute, because two of the people I want to romance have such opposing morals that I need to pick a side eventually. I need to pick mage or anti-mage, basically. As soon as I'm like, yeah, I'm going to romance this person. I will say, very minor thing, it's a thing that I really liked in Origins, though, that I'm a little upset doesn't have any weight in this, is specializations when it comes to classes, because in Origins, to get a specialization in a class, you had to do a quest or speak to someone, get close to someone who was relevant in that thing. You had to get close to Morrigan to get Shapeshifter. You need to do an Evil Blood Pact to get Blood Mage. You know, you had to do this phylactery quest to get, you know, Arcane Warrior. And in this, I'm a Templar. That's my specialization. But I don't get anything for that. Like, no one comments on it. There's no, like, I just am a Templar. And people occasionally are like, you know, I've had Templars actively be like, oh, well, what are you? Blah, 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 and all this stuff. Like, you know, mock me for just random shit because I'm not a Templar. But I'm like, but I am a Templar. My specialization is your life. Like, I want you to react to me like a peer because I can
Yeah.
cast holy magic. Like,
But so
please.
in this, you know how to fight like a Templar, but you're not a member of the Templar Order.
I know, but I would like it to be a choice in some way. Like, I would like to have to speak to a Templar to get the Templar specialization. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Similar to how it is in Origins.
This is like your starting specialization? Or do you pick this up?
You pick it up. You pick it at level like 7 or something.
7. Yeah.
Which again, it's only a minor criticism, and that's a mechanics thing. That's not a roleplay thing.
Yeah,
but
no.
Role playing going into Templar, I kind of would have hoped that it would be more. I could have done something with that because I would love Anders to talk about it and be like, "So you're a fucking Templar?" Like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like,
right? Like, what is going on?
He should be against me taking the specialization, much like how Alistair is against you taking the Blood Mage specialization because he's like, "You fucking killed a woman." Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. And I really liked that, and I thought that was a really interesting way to play that. So I was kind of hoping that it would be the same with a character whose whole deal is being against Templars. I wish he would have said something when I picked it up.
Yeah.
But again,
or like your sister.
Yeah. Or your sister, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I even though I appreciate that it's a mechanics thing, and it's a very minor, I know it sounds like I'm criticizing this game a lot because I've brought up criticisms a lot.
No. I think the ones you are bringing up are ones that I think are extremely valid.
The thing is that this game will probably end up taking the spot of, I know we've only played 2 of them, but of the best Dragon Age so far, because the companions are like outstandingly good to the point where I feel dumb. I'm like, oh shit, these are this is my team. This is like one of the best rosters of heroes that I've ever
I agree.
Unquote, the best rosters of like companion characters that I've seen in anything, and I play JRPGs exclusively that are just rosters of teammates, and like character dynamics, and this has done it better than all of them so far.
Yeah.
So every criticism is because it's like, this game could be a 10 out of 10. I need it to hit, and now because of that fact, my criticisms are wider. Whereas in Origins, I really liked it. But the criticisms I could just kind of fob off because I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Origins was a perfectly well-rounded game. 2 has like excellent story and character exposition, and mechanically just has a lot of flatness to it.
Yeah.
That's really, and it really depends on what kind of gamer you are. If you are someone where like mechanically interesting games are what you need to do, like, the character exposition of this game is not gonna fill that gap for you. And so I get why some people really bounce off of this game. For me, like, I share those criticisms, but they're just like, they don't override how much I love these people and this story. So, okay. Oh, you go.
Nope. I'm fine.
So we are introduced to how bad mages in this town see the circle, how violent the Templars can be. We are introduced to how pervasive slavers and slave poaching is in this city. So we get that. Then we meet then there's a Templar that has gone missing. And this quest that we get leads us to meeting some of the big Templar players in Kirkwall, including Knight Commander Meredith.
Is that so? I don't think I've met. I feel like I would have written it down if I had. I don't think I've met her.
Okay. Well, hearing about Knight Commander Meredith at least.
Oh, I've heard about her. Yeah.
You have. Okay. So we are introduced to and we meet a familiar face. We meet Cullen.
We do meet Cullen.
Who is Knight Captain of the Templars here in Kirkwall.
Yeah.
And so some of the recruits have gone missing, and we have to kind of like investigate around. It brings us to a couple of interesting places like the Gallows, which we've talked about before, the Bloomin' Rose, which is the whorehouse here in Kirkwall. Love a good whorehouse. Whorehouse in Kirkwall, very fun to me. I can be and I reserve my right to be very, very critical about how sex workers are portrayed in fantasy games, but I kind of love the Bloomin' Rose. I
think it's fun that it's in Hightown and not Lowtown. I think that's a fun little interesting thing.
It is in Hightown. Also, like, we get some really good like exposition from a male hooker there who is like really into one of his clients and like just thinks that she's the best. And like I think that whole interaction is very realistic, very charming, and like and very fun.
And he's like invested in her life because the way I got this is her husband is like shit.
Yeah,
and is like, oh yeah, my wife left, blah blah blah, and then I got very red with him, consistently spamming those Red Hawk actions, where she is like, I'll fucking kill you, get out of my face. And I thought that was very fun. And then you go, and then he's like, she's like, oh my god, I love her. Isn't she the best? Did you meet her husband? He fucking sucks.
And then he's like, she's missing. Did you check with him? Because he fucking killed her. Like,
I thought that was fun. Yeah. He's cool.
So I love the characterization there. But we're kind of going here trying to find so in this one, Kieran saw a lady hooker whose name I don't remember. And we kind of are investigating around. And we learn that hooker is a Maleficarum, which is
a little blood mage.
A blood mage.
Yeah.
So we're really, really laying it on thick with blood magic is bad. And
which we've never heard before, just coming off Origins.
But this group of Maleficarum are like intentional terrorists who are trying to sow dissension in the ranks of Templars by forcing demons to possess the new recruits, and then allowing the Templars to go back to the Order and destroy them from the inside out. Frankly, I support the energy that is happening there. Obviously, but we do get to like track them to wherever their lair is in Darktown. And we find Kieran, who is held captive at this point, not yet possessed, not yet ritualed. We free him. And you can either let Kieran go back to the Templar Order, or he requests to be dismissed from the Templar Order. And so this is sort of another turning point where Hawke gets to say whether they think the Templars or the mages are responsible for what has happened to Kieran. And very interested in what you did.
I got him to go back to the Templars.
Makes sense.
Because it's better to watch him and it's like, well, if he's not fucking possessed, then he won't be possessed. If he is possessed, he's surrounded by Templars, so just make sure that everyone knows that he's a fucking demon. He has a demon in him. And then Cullen was like, okay, I guess. Cullen, who at the beginning of this little quest is going a little bit postal, is like torturing people. and is doing a lot of shit. And considering, I don't know how canon it is, but at the end of Origins, it states he becomes a madman and starts just slaughtering mages randomly.
Correct. Yes, he kills a ton of mages, and then he's made like fucking knight captain.
In charge of this, yeah. Really, what's crazy to me is a lot of people love Cullen, and a lot of people romance Cullen in Inquisition, which I know that you can do. This man has to do so much fucking legwork to have me not think he is just scum.
Literally evil, yeah.
He is literally evil. He is an awful, awful man who is like the definition of a cop to me. He is like a guard of people who just uses like the perceived his own like bigotry and the public perceived bigotry to commit atrocities and climbs the ranks of the Templars.
This he's man the is example. He's the rule. He's the I
fucking hate him. I find him truly disgusting. And
absolutely,
as does Hawke. Like my Hawke hates him as well. Even though my Hawke is very like, whatever, my team is my team. She's like, he's not part of our fucking team. I actually fucking hate that guy. He sucks. So I'm excited to see how his character grows and why people like him. Because I hate him.
So more like setting the stage stuff for big overarching Kirkwall stuff is that you meet oh god, I always say I want to call him Jarvis, and that's not right. Javerus, who is a dwarf that you meet out in Thundermount in the Thundermount Mountains. And he's a dwarf who is, I mean, originally he's trying to locate some Talvishoth, which we learn are Kunari who have defected from the Qun. They're no longer part of the order. Or part of the Qun. Order's not right. But he wants
which
to
is like the Qun is a society.
It's
right?
a society. It's a religion and a government.
Yeah, and the Talvishoth don't want to be in that society anymore.
Right. And it's anybody who's been a part of it who has defected.
Okay, sure. The Qun in this have a lot of fantasy words for stuff, which is really difficult for me to pass. It's a thing which is not a criticism of this game. It's a criticism of fantasy as a whole. And it's like they are almost the only sect of people in this that it's like in Lord of the Rings when people are speaking, like they just start throwing in elvish words and it's like, what do you mean? What does that mean? Like I need to have an equivalent. So it's like I was like, okay, I thought the Qun were the race, but no, it's not the Qun. The Qunari are a race. The Qun is the society of people.
Yep.
And then there's also the Arishtok, which is like a leader of a clan.
The Arishok is king. That's it's beyond king. It's like almost religious and king at the same time. Religious leader. The Arishok is ultimate leader. And that was what we learned. Sten was like in line to be the next Arishok at the end of our run of Origins. Like Sten is like return if you return his honor, Sten goes back and like is going to be. So we learn in like the end of the prologue that from Varric's little narration that the Qun, a ship of Qun, including the Arishok, have landed in Kirkwall and they're staying in like a kind of sequestered off like part of town.
Yeah, an alienage with gates and a guard.
Yeah, and it's the vibe of this is not we're keeping the elves in like it is in the alienage. It's like we're keeping us separate from each other. This is a line down the center of your sibling and you like bedroom.
Yeah.
This is
because
like
the guard isn't like a human Templar guard. It's a Qunari guard who stands outside over like what looks like a homemade gate that they have made to lock us out of their zone.
Yeah. And so now there's relatively minimal conflict. There is this tension that there may be conflict, but there is not like active fighting. The Qunari have
past
also
civilians and they're all talking about it. They're like, "Ugh, it's fucking a bunch of fucking Qunari over there."
Yeah. But so the Qunari go through a little bit of a redesign, and then they also do, which I think is good, they do add this extra lore in there to justify the redesign instead of just doing it. So Sten was, in Dragon Age Origins, they're like, oh, that's a Qunari, that's a dwarf. There's fucking nothing different about anybody except for occasionally a height or a pointed ear. There's nothing that like differentiates anybody. In Dragon Age 2, we've now said that the Qunari, the lineage of Qunari, have horns, like big giant ass horns,
awesome.
and are tall and beefy and like bigger than your average human being. But to avoid it being a retcon, like so many things do happen to be in this like transition into the franchisement of the series, they do invent the Qun, which is something that anyone, whether or not you're born a Qunari, can become.
Adopt.
And if you do that, you are considered as much of a Qunari as anyone who is born there. That is that is what is stated.
So is it that Sten is just a particularly huge guy who joined the Qun? Or is it that joining the Qun began to turn him more Qunari?
No, there's no magic up to it and doesn't change you to be part of the Qun.
He's just a particularly huge guy.
He's just a big guy who joined the Qun and is part of the Qun. Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. So Javaris wants us to find Gatlock powder, which is a Qunari invented explosive that is like better than any explosive ever. And the dwarf that we meet is kind of like, I don't ask why I want it. Like, and we, which is very fun to me. But he wants that. But he wants us to get it from the Talvishoth who have defected. Finding the Talvishoth, the rebel group, I forget. Oh shoot! What do we get to do when we find them? I know there's a choice here, and I don't remember if I wrote it down. I don't remember.
So I didn't get a choice for this. I don't believe I got a choice coming back. I got a choice for delivering the Qunari mage to the Talvishoth.
Yes, that's it. The okay, yeah. Okay,
which is a different.
But it's like
situation.
You get it from this. It's like part of that. This is the
is it? I don't think it is. Yeah, but the Qunari mage I got from a Magister. And then I had an alternate option, which is well, I've already dealt with the Arishdoc, so I can do it. I'll like handle it. And that was like a third side option for me. It wasn't one of the original things.
Yeah. It's because the dwarf isn't. It's like all a ruse. He's not. He's like not trying to get the Gatlock powder. Is the reveal at the end?
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he still said that he was to me. So that's interesting because I don't think I might have got that reveal. Again, there's a lot of game in here. But because the Arishdoc was like, did you do all this for the Gatlock powder? That's fucking ridiculous. And then I immediately sold the dwarf out. And I was like, yeah, this fucking guy, he's just had me running around. I don't need you to keep your deal. I need my money from him, honestly. Like, I don't care what you do. And then the Aristoc was like, okay, let's kill the dwarf then. And then he was like, whoa, what if I just... And then the dwarf was like, what if I gave you a bunch of money? And I was like, all right, fine. Give me my money, get the fuck out of here. And he was like, fine, I didn't even fucking want the powder, whatever.
That's it.
Matter.
Yeah.
So he didn't reveal to me what he actually wanted, because I fucked him over at like the bottom of the ninth in the last second. Just because, again, I was like, she doesn't care about this guy. She's like, I'm here for my money.
Yep.
Yes. So also, I would like to just go back a couple of steps.
Okay.
Because you haven't told me what Ash has been doing.
I've told you everything that Ash has been doing. What do you want?
Okay, so with giving the kid up to the tower, what did Ash do?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I meant to answer that. Yeah. So with giving the kid to the tower, we didn't do that because we just took the first away from Meryl's clan. Their clan has no first.
You delivered them to the yes.
Yeah. So the Dalish have a need. Actually, there needs to be someone who can
do magic
and who can learn from the keeper and learn how to take over that role.
Ah, that's interesting. For some reason, that has triggered something in my mind, and I'm pretty sure I gave him to the circle. I'm almost 100% sure I gave him to the circle. I will. If you
check
had Meryl
with you, she may
week.
have talked about it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I will. I'm almost certain I gave him to the circle. And then after that, we spoke about. Oh, fuck. We spoke about something else. And it was another choice that you asked me what I did, and I.
I know what you're talking about with Kieran about letting him go to back to the Templar Order or letting him go free. So Ash. Oh, I did want to talk about. I'm glad you brought this back up because I did also give him back to the Templar Order, but So my logic with that is that Ash is not a great fan of the Templars at all. Mm-hmm. But like
he can kill them.
Maybe he's possessed.
So
and maybe he's got a little mage in him.
Do you get the option to tell Cullen what's going on? I think you do, right?
Yeah.
Don't you have an option to... Yeah, so it's like you can give him back to the Templars base, you can give him back to the Templars and tell Cullen, or you can not give him to the Templars.
Yeah, but I can give him back and not tell Cullen that there's any suspicion that anything has gone wrong. And you're just like,
awesome.
Cullen,
that's awesome.
Everything's fine. We found this guy and we saved him just in time. Don't even worry about it. All good.
That's not very Purple Hawke. Ha, everything is fine of you. That's a little freak.
I think that's a little purple. I think that's a little purple and weird.
Cool. So, I mean, Purple Hawke to me is like a light prankster. This is not a prank. This is a prank that a fey creature would do to someone. That's like it's just a prank.
Goofy little.
It killed 15 people. Just a prank, though. You didn't know it was going to happen. Funny for me.
Yeah, Templars.
Templars aren't a people.
Cullen
is not a people.
Could kill Cullen a little bit. So yeah. So that's what I did with that. I think those were the two big choices.
Those are the two. I just wanted to bring it up because what did you do with the Aristoc then? So what did you do with him? Did you? Because clearly you were like, oh, there was a twist, and it wasn't actually about the powder. It's about something else.
Yeah, it is like that. There is no deal. Like, so you think that there's a deal that with the powder? That's what I was. I like my memory is full of jumble. But there's there's a deal, and that's what you think you're going after. Is that there's like a deal where the Gatlock's going to be sold, and you can kind of find the secret recipe that way. And the Arishok is like, no, idiots. There was no deal.
Yeah, he took it upon himself to do justice on my behalf, thinking that's what I wanted. That's it. And then that's what made Hawke be like, oh, fuck him then. As long as I get my money, I don't care. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, that is what happened.
So I convinced the Arishok to let him go, though.
I also did, but I was like, if he gives me his money, he can go. If he doesn't, then let's just fucking
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Like,
I got my money.
blah, blah, blah.
I got
okay,
paid for sure.
Money.
Yes, and I'm in good with the Arishok. The Arishok is...
I spoke to him for a while after.
Yeah.
I mean, he let me speak to him, so I imagine that's, like, fine. Or, like, we're as chill as I can be, even though I am aggressive to everyone. Yeah.
Yep.
But then you meet... I say and then, but I met later
Sister
a woman... That's it.
Fucking Sister Patrice.
She is getting... She asks you for it. She's like, oh, hey, have you seen this guy? And I'm like, no, sorry, love. And she's like, okay, and walks away. And then later you find her being mugged. And then you kill a bunch of people. And then a Templar runs around the corner. And she's like, it's fine. We don't need you. Thank you, though. And you're like, what is happening? She's like, well, I got a little bit of a secret. You want to come see? She is a Kunari mage.
Yeah.
All chained up.
Chained up with mouth fully sewn shut.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Devinter, mages are the supreme rulers. They have no restrictions on their right to enact and wield power. Kunari, totally fucking bonkers opposite. You like mages are mages are fully like put into kinkwear. They are in gimp suits, but completely restricted.
Yeah.
Their mouths are sewn shut so that they cannot cast magic under any circumstances unless
their hands are bound. They are fully in, like, not just like, oh, they're in chains. They are in like huge like sailors chains. It's crazy. Yeah.
But she's got Ketajon on a like she's like keeping him like a pet, Sister Patrice.
Yeah. But she doesn't play it like that. She's like, this guy wants to go back and he wants to be free, so we're gonna do that. You just need to lead him through the sewers and get him to the other Talvashoth. And I was like, all right, lady, I don't know who you are, but sure. Her armed guard, by the way, when you walk in, tries to attack you, and she's like, put it down. And he's very jumpy. So I lead this guy who doesn't say anything. He only speaks in grunts. She has a rod that controls him as well. It's also an important thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You lead him through the sewers. A group of people are like, oh, who's this then? Looks like you're fucking trying to use in our tunnels, is it? And then the Qunari mage speaks finally and then sets them all on fire. You have a minor fight.
So powerful, yeah.
He's brutalizing them, and then you're like, so what was that about? And then he like doesn't really say much after that. You go up, you meet the Talvashoth, you speak to them. Sister Patrice specifically said that she doesn't want this to be combative if you can help it. She's like, I want to give him to the Talvashoth. That's it. Like, I don't want it to be a fight.
Yeah.
Speaking to them, you very quickly realize that that's not an option.
Right.
I mean, it is.
Because it doesn't, yeah. So, the Talvashoth that you meet, they still, like, they find him, like, you meet them and you're supposed to, like, leave him in their care, but they immediately call him something called a Cerebus, which means dangerous thing. They're already they're not, they don't seem like they're really willing to be taking.
They're not going to take him in and be like, you're also one of us. They're like, you're going to walk away and we're going to behead this guy. Like, they are.
Exactly.
Well, not even that. They're going to take the control rod and be like, now he's ours and we can.
Now he's our little
he's
pet.
Just a weapon.
Right. So this is another scenario where we have a choice. And I feel like there's something else I'm missing too.
You have a choice to talk about the fact that you have dealings with the Aristoc, and the Aristoc is like,
right,
and
right,
you're
right.
like, leave me alone, leave him.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to walk away. I don't need a fight from this.
Mm-hmm.
Which I did pull that card. I was like, lads, I don't need a fight. This is ridiculous. And they were like, okay, just leave him here. And I was like, I mean, I don't want to do that either. You seem weird.
Yeah.
And then they all pulled weapons on me, and I was like, all right, it's your funeral.
Yeah. And you can defend Ketagen, but also can you like free him? Can you like cut him totally loose?
Oh, I don't know.
And
because after the fight, he like points toward the control rod, and then I gave it to him, and he frees himself.
And he frees himself. Oh, he frees himself after the fight. That's what it is.
Did you do the same thing?
I did the same. I did the same thing pretty much. And then Ketajan does unfortunately free himself and then kills himself.
Yeah, because I had Anders on this was my mage team at the time, because I was like, oh, look, it's all of us mages.
Yeah.
And Anders is like, wow, these guys are supremely fucked. I thought we had it bad here with the circle towers. This is insane.
Oh,
and then
fun.
he's super against him killing himself, because he's like, what are you doing?
Why
like,
would you do this?
You like, get out, deprogram yourself, you fucking idiot. Like, what is happening? And I just kind of let him do it, because I was like, I don't fucking know this guy. Like, he's going to do what he's going to do. So he sets himself on fire and just dies, because he's like, I can't return to the Qun. You know, I can't do... Oh, like, it's not he can't return to the Qun. It's that he's a failure of the Qun.
He's a failure. Yeah,
but he's ultimately still a part of it, and his, like, you know, followings, teachings say that he has to kill himself.
Killed other Qunari, so he would be Tal Vashoth now.
There you go.
And he's betrayed the order. So So...
And you can try to convince him to stop himself,
you can,
but I didn't do that.
I had Fenris, who was kind of like, that was
awesome.
That was the best. He wasn't like awesome. He was surprisingly like tepid about it, but he was like, you know, he did that to protect, his.
I guess
clan.
it's like
he
doesn't take joy in mages dying. Fenris is just like, but mages should, like the fact that this mage is willing to kill themselves because they find themselves too dangerous and powerful is what mages should do, ultimately.
Yeah, he's just like, no, I get it. It is.
Who's your team, by the way? Do you have a set?
I'm very attached to Varric, Fenris, Merrill. As a team.
I have a hard time not having Varric in my team, because Varric also has flower-based nicknames for all of the ladies, and I think he's probably perfect, actually.
He's got a nickname for everyone. He will have, by the end of the game, he will have a nickname for everyone.
Oh, God, he's so cute.
He's great.
Everyone also loves to talk about how hairy his chest is, consistently. It's like every other fucking line is like...
Not enough people talking about the fucking cock ring he wears around his neck, though. Would really love it if more people talked about... if more people could talk about Earring Magic Ken Dwarf Edition that we... But sure, the hairy
that's something
chest.
that I hadn't noticed, but definitely is up at the top of your favorite things that is in Dragon Age 2.
Yeah. The cock ring that Varric wears around his neck?
Yeah, Varric's cock ring. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Deep Roads? Deep Roads?
Oh, the Viscount's son loves Qunari. I want to mention that really quick, because that's another little bit.
That is important.
Because he runs away. wants to be a part of the Qun.
Yeah.
I was going through a thing, and there was a Talvashoth that helped me kill people. I think other Talvashoth. Because I was speaking to him, and he was like, "Hey, can you give me a hand?" And I was like, "Yeah, bud." And then we just kind of we helped each other.
Killed indiscriminately for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Last little thing. There is a guy who has been capturing young women, maybe young elven women specifically, or maybe young mages even, and then killing them. And you find his father, and his father is like, "Hey, don't kill him, bring him back to me." And then you meet an elven father who's like, "Kill him, please." You go through this little dungeon, you find him, and he's like, "It's not me. There is a demon in my head telling me to do all these things." And I was like, "Okay, buddy, it's time for you to be put down, I think." And then I killed him. Which feels like it was important at the time. I believe that's it. Isabel is Castilian. She has a whole thing with those. I had all the stuff we covered. We covered Anders, who has justice in him. Man, I just love him so much. It makes me look like an idiot. Aveline, there's a big conspiracy going on with Aveline.
Oh, right. Aveline's little conspiracy, yeah.
Which you end up finding out that the head of the guard it's like there's a lot of murders and robberies going on because random guardsmen get loads of things.
Yes.
And then are sent out. And then they get killed or robbed. And Aveline's like, what the fuck is happening?
Like, why
this
are
guard
some
route
watches,
is ridiculous.
like, why are these people choosing all these watches? And, like, why is all this crime happening on specific watches? And so you, like, you wind up taking, like, a lap with her and, like, finding out.
And she's awesome. I think she's a great fucking character.
She's great.
I really, really love her. She's only... It's frustrating because it's one of the weird things where my party is either Fenris, Isabella, Varric, or Bethany, Anders, and oh my god, Bethany, Anders, and Meryl. Which means that Aveline doesn't really come along with me a lot, but every single quest of Aveline's, I'm like, man, I love this chick. Like, I keep,
bring her along. She's got
awesome.
Great banter with everybody. It's so good. It's so
and she's really fun. I like her a lot.
And there's a lot to be had with the contentious people. So, like, I know it's tempting to, like, keep all of your ideologies aligned.
Same.
But, like, there's a lot of fun banter.
Just because that to me was a role play decision because that was that was
no,
her,
I get you.
That was Florence like being the centrist because she she's one person with one group of people and then one person with another group of people, and she didn't want those personalities to cross. That does change, however, when she goes into the Deep Roads. Deep Roads happens.
Deep Roads.
You have enough money. You have the map. You have a team.
Yep.
You go over to your man and you're like, hey, I can afford it now. Let's do the damn thing. Bethany is real insistent on going. She wants to go really bad, but then your mother comes up to you and your mother is like, please don't take her. I don't want you both to die.
It's like,
what did you
Mom.
do?
No, I do not take Bethany with me.
I didn't take Bethany with me. Because she's right. She's right. There's no reason for us to both go. If something bad happens, you need to be safe here.
I don't take Bethany with me because she's a little bitch. She's so weak.
Jesus.
She's
Christ.
Weak. She's got like no firepower to her. She's gonna.
Are you
die
talking
down
mechanically?
there.
Are you talking mechanically? Or are you talking storytelling wise?
Both. She's going to die.
Mechanically is absolutely ridiculous. She's juiced to fucking hell. She's my main damage dealer is Bethany. She's like locked into all of the element spells. So she has fireball, like fucking ice storm, all that shit, and she does crazy stuff.
For me, she's like so weak, and I'm just like,
wow,
no, Bethany
crazy.
will die down there. I will lose her, and I cannot have that.
Storytelling wise, I didn't bring her because she's my sister, and Mother's right. I mean, we're not both gonna go down, and then it's like, what if something does happen? We don't know what's going on in the deep roads. We hear nothing but horror stories.
Also, this is my shit. I've decided to take this risk on. I'm not bringing my sister with me.
My baby sister,
die, you know,
is it baby sister? Are you the middle child?
I think so. Yeah. Well, no, you're not the middle child because they were twins, Carver and Beth.
Oh, so you're the youngest then, because
you're the.
Oh no, you're the eldest. Because Carver was younger than you because he says so. Yeah, younger. Yeah. I'm not having my baby fucking sister come with me. That's ridiculous. No, have ridiculous. Her stay. I did take. You have to take Varric because he's your best friend.
It's his brother.
Yeah, and it's his expedition as well. He has to come.
Yep.
And I took Anders and Fenris because I thought that would be fun.
That is whoa for this quest. Oh God, that's so heavy.
Because I had it's like because I knew this was going to be big, so I pre-planned. I did this both for my sake because who's the most interesting two people to take? The two people who fucking hate each other are the most interesting people to take. And also, storytelling-wise, this is a pull for... She has to now grow because she has to defend... She's going to have to defend someone at some point.
And she'll have to make a decision in front of someone at some point.
Yeah.
Along the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took Fenris and Meryl.
Beautiful. God, I love Meryl so much. I love her. She's great. I love her. I just love her Welsh little voice.
I know.
And her stupid observations on shit. I think she's so funny.
Yeah. Can I tell you a little bit of lore? Is that in the beginning, before I realized that I really couldn't do it consistently in a way that like felt right, so I kind of found my own footing, but like that is what I wanted Aig's voice to be, kind of. Like is Meryl, yeah. But I can't really do Welsh, so it's just sort of like yeah. But that was the energy. I was playing this game when we did our session 0, like I was doing a playthrough of this game at that time. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful. Love her so much. You're going to the deep roads.
Yeah.
You are there for several weeks before you come across your first roadblock, and the roadblock is a literal roadblock. There's been a cave in. It's going to take weeks to open up the cave in, and it's way too dangerous to go any other route. And you're like, for fuck's sake, I'll just clear the route. Then I'll go and I'll kill all the things. Then, fucking Bowden runs up to you and he's like, hey, I don't know where the fuck Sandal is.
Sandal's missing.
Yeah. So you're like, okay, I'll also deal with that on my way. I'll keep an eye out. No
worries.
You go through a lot of Darkspawn. Gotta be honest with you, Darkspawn are uninteresting to me so far. I know they pop up, but I've had the incredible highs of Awakening of how Darkspawn are written, and in this they're just Origins again, where they're just kind of mindless zombies.
They're not Origins. They're nothing in this. There's no Darkspawn there's no Blight happening now. Blight's over. It's done. By the time we do the Deep Roads expedition, I think chronologically, like
Awakening's done as well.
Awakening's done. It's all done. Darkspawn are back to being... They're just monsters. They're just zombies.
They're fucking uninteresting. It's stupid. I to the point I got a little mad about it because I was like, we had the most interesting shit that's happened in the Darkspawn.
But I like it because there's no Blight, and I want the Blight to have meaning. And I like that the Blight has meaning. When a Blight is when a Blight is happening, there is the Darkspawn change.
The point of Awakening is that was different, though. That's the point of Awakening. I didn't.
Awakening.
And here's the thing. Real. This is something that was upsetting me a tiny bit. They've already changed Anders. Did they change my big decision? the thing that I thought was the most interesting thing to bring over from Awakening was the fact that Quentin kept the guy alive.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're just fucking mindless. They're not talking. They're just zombies. And whatever. That's fine. You fight through a lot of them. And then tons of them. And then you come across a mountain of dead bodies and a frozen ogre. And Sandal is just kind of hanging out in between them. Says that they are not enchantment to all the fucking dead bodies. And you're like, okay, buddy, what happened here? But obviously he can't speak. So he just kind of says enchantment again. And you're like, all right, let's get you back to your dad.
Well, but he doesn't just say enchantment because he holds up runes that he's made. Because Sandal is, we just have to say it, a problematic character, albeit an interesting one. He is, like, very clearly what Dragon Age was trying to do at the time, was write a character that is something of like a magical savant, which is something that is not an appropriate like thing in real life. It's not something that's real and is largely harmful. Whereas like a character that is disabled in some way is like exceptional at something else.
Yeah, that prodigy.
And for Sandal, that skill that they've decided that he has is this thing with the runes and the enchantment, which we have known about him this whole time. But now they're escalating it, and they're like, not only is he just really great at enchanting things, like he can use these runes that he's made as weapons themselves. Yeah, and is seemingly more powerful than you are with them.
Yeah.
Huge development, and it won't be the last from this little ad. So this is an interesting development for sure. So harrowing scene, honestly, if I'm being with you. Yeah.
You go further into the deep roads. You go into a taig. Find a taig, which is so ancient old that it is.
It's just.
Did he say it's before the original Blight? Yeah,
it's primeval. This is like it's prehistoric. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost perfectly preserved. You bring everyone there, and they're like, "Holy shit!" This. Who's the brother?
Bartrand.
What's the brother's name? Bartrand. Bartrand is losing his mind. He's like, wow, this is like finding this place alone is worth a mountain of gold. Let alone the stuff that we'll find here. Which is pretty interesting, pretty cool. That happens. And then, whilst investigating and searching, you find an idol made out of pure lyrium, forged into some weird demonic thing.
Yeah, humanoid shape. And lyrium is what we know is like mana in this game, but it's something that we in this series, it's like where mages get their powers. It's also where Templars get their powers too. And
that's true. Jump back just a couple of bits. When we're trying to find the boy who's having the nightmares, we meet a Templar, and I don't know if this was said in Origins, but he says that he is an ex-Templar and then he's like, yeah, they get you addicted to lyrium.
Yep.
And that he's like, yeah, and that's why I'm fucking on the street, because I'm addicted to lyrium now.
I can't remember if they say the addiction part in Origins, but they definitely do say that the Templars take lyrium to be able to do what they're able to do to mages.
Very interesting. Okay, I might have missed that.
Because Alistair like had to take it as well.
Sure, yeah.
So
anyway, yeah, jumping forward to present
day. But lyrium is something that's exclusively mined by the dwarves. We did learn that back in Orzammar. There's a whole criminal ring about like there's a fair trade, and like there's like what the topsider dwarves sell to human Templars, but then there's like underground rings of like people who sneak it topside and sell it to whoever. So lyrium is like heavily used by almost everyone, like mages and Templars and all of that. And the dwarves are the ones that like kind of have all of the access to it and can handle it because they don't, or can more safely handle it because they don't
have access to the Fade.
Yeah.
Now, I might have asked this in Origins originally. Is it dwarves can't use magic because they don't have access to the Fade?
Correct.
Is that because of the lyrium mining? Like, did dwarves used to be able to do magic and now they no longer can because of all the lyrium? Or...
It has been it's never been known that dwarves can do magic.
Okay.
And the only thought we've ever been kind of introduced to as to why, a hypothesis as to why, is because of possibly that they're so far underground, that they have always been so far underground that they're severed from it.
Okay.
But there's and so there's pretty much never a dwarf that is connected to the Fade at all.
Interesting. Oh, you also find out, maybe not here, but just whilst chatting, that Varric was born topside, so he has no connection to the Tig or
doesn't care
to
about it.
Orzammar or anything. He fully doesn't give a fuck. His like a member of it. Oh, it was his father. They used to be part of a noble house, blew all the money. The father, the mother, and his brother all had to move out of Orzammar, and then when that happened, Varric was born, so Varric's like, I don't give a fuck about any of this. I don't care about Orzammar. I have no connection to that place. I was born topside. I'll die topside. Anyway, this idol you find, you touch it, and you're like, interesting. You then give it to Varric's brother, who immediately goes a little dark mode, and then locks you in this tomb and just bounces.
Yeah! Locks you and Varric, his brother, in there. Like, is fully gonna leave you to die.
And it's not like he takes it, he ums and ahs, and then eventually locks you in. He touches it, locks you in within seconds. It's like there's absolutely no question, and you're like, well, we have to find a way out. You bust through the back door. You're wandering around. You're fighting these things called the Profane. Weird little creatures. And you find a cool rock guy who I put in my notes, cool rock man, until after a quite important choice I found out he was a demon and I didn't realize that. Because the demon guy is like, hey, can you just kind of leave me alone and my guys and we'll be fine? And Varric's like, well, he's a demon, so don't do that. And I was like, I don't really care. And Varric's like, he's a demon, so please don't leave him alive. And I was like, my apologies. And then I killed him and all of his people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Ash do that also?
Yeah. That for sure.
And then you find a lot of gold and trinkets and all this big fancy shit. And you find your way back. Oh, you also find a dragon. There's a big old dragon there.
Yeah, a dragon.
Yeah. And then you hip hop body on stop all the way back, and you're like, hey gang, I found a lot of money. Where is Varric's brother? and I think he's just gone, right? Didn't he pack up a bunch of people and then bounce?
He's gone. He has disappeared. He's fled with the idol.
Yeah, with the idol.
With the idol.
And then there's a fucking another time skip of a while. After you leave, right? That's correct?
Well, so we leave. We come back home. We come back home. It's been we've been underground for a week and a half, I think.
Well, it says weeks getting there.
Couple of weeks.
And then coming back. So you can imagine it's like 2-ish months at minimum.
So we come back, and you and I both made the decision to leave Bethany behind.
To leave Bethany behind.
So in the time that we've been gone, Bethany has been discovered by the Circle, and you cannot have a mage living outside the Circle in Kirkwall. Yep. And so she is taken. Would you like to know what happens if you take Bethany?
What? Does she die?
It depends. If you take Bethany, she will always get attacked by Dorkspawn and contract the taint, and she will be on her way to become a Dorkspawn. She will die unless you have also brought Anders with you. And then he can recruit her into the Grey Wardens to save her life.
Wow! That's awesome.
And then she becomes a Grey Warden. In which case, I think no matter whether she joins the Grey Wardens or is euthanized, she is never with you again. I think she just she goes to join the Grey Wardens and she leaves Kirkwall.
Right.
So if you bring her into the Deep Roads, she does vanish from your party by death or by taint. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Shit.
And I did almost do it, but I didn't. Because I think it is I think it would have been a fun and interesting character motivator for Ash if Bethany did die, but I didn't think it made sense for Ash to actually leave her, bring her there. So I couldn't justify the choice to do it.
Yeah. And I think Bethany getting taken is the thing that's going to make Florence be like, oh, I'm going to kill all the Templars, I think.
Oh, this
because it's like, if
sucks.
she's so exclusively, these are my people, I protect my people, gets back and the Templars take her people, she's like, cool, I think I've now decided that your enemy number one in my mind is the Templars, and I'm going to fucking kill you.
Also for Ash, in these conversations that were happening with different party members specifically about mages and magic and stuff, I think that Ash Hawke has agreed with a lot of the criticism of magic itself, in that it does seem pretty fucking dangerous, and it does seem it has a really high risk that can't be controlled well. I do know that the Circle's bad, and it's not doing a good job, and it's and that's being demonstrated to me on the daily. And Ash has been expressing that as her primary, especially in conversations with Fenris, it's been a lot of hey, no, I hear you. The Circle's fucked up though. Yeah, no, I get you. Magic is really dangerous and shit. Look at how many people we killed today.
Wow.
But the Circle is fucked.
Okay. I'm going to give you this right now. Because I was unsure of what path to take Florence until this point. Until literally we were talking right now. And then I was like, oh, she's probably going to be super anti-Templar now because they've just taken her sister. And this is when... These episodes are when I make a lot of the character out. Because it's I'm laying all the information out in front of me. And I'm like, okay, this is what makes sense. And because... you and I tell stories together. That's our thing. So now I'm making it more of a story rather than a video game. And do you know what I think is really cool?
What?
Both of us have made female warrior Hawks.
Yeah.
And our decisions have been the same, pretty much.
Almost always, yeah.
And right now, this decision, I think, are the two paths. You want to romance Fenris, and I think I might romance Anders. And we are going to go the paths. We are the same person of a different timeline who have now split.
This is our divergence. Yeah.
It's their reaction to Bethany being taken that changes who they are.
That's who it is. Yeah.
And now
there
it's
are two reactions. Yeah.
Really anti-Templar or no, I get it. I get why it's dangerous. Like, the circle's fucked up, but I get why mages are scary, to someone who's like, I actually don't care that mages are dangerous. They took one of mine, and now they all must burn.
Gorgeous.
And then I'm going with Anders, and then you go with Fenris.
Love this. That's
huge,
perfect.
Mate.
Oh, that's it. That's gorgeous. I love it so much. Mom's pissed.
Yeah, definitely.
Leandra's
but then it's also
pissed
like,
no matter what.
It's not my fucking fault, babe.
Yeah.
You asked us. You asked me to not bring her along. So I didn't.
Also, Mom, like, could you clock in for like 3 weeks? Could you, like, that's like, I'm sorry, am I the only thing? Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I empathize with Leandra so much, but like, if you could pull your weight like a tiny little bit. I've done so much crime for this family. I've
Yeah.
I've gotten us through so much.
I'm the only reason we're alive now. I
Like,
need
if
you to lock in a little bit.
Like for 3 weeks, I'm just asking you to.
And you know what's...
Yeah.
What I think is interesting, just one of the final notes. What I think is interesting is the character of your mother has the fact that she doesn't lock in and isn't like paying attention, or like not paying attention, but isn't like really committing.
She's not protecting Bethany. Like, she's not actively
is something that I think is interesting, considering that she left here and all of the responsibilities that she had in Kirkwall to go and be with your father. And it's like a similar way where she couldn't stand up then to the whole thing. So she left, and then you leave Bethany in your charge to her request for like a few weeks, and she doesn't do it again. And it's like, there is reason to be like, this is your fault. You're the reason she's gone.
Mom is a complicated character. There's some themes here that with this like turning point specifically, we are introduced to some very classic like inherited generational trauma kind of arcs where like Mom ran away to protect herself from her own shit, hasn't fucking gotten past that, and is not it did not pull her weight on this. And
you as the eldest, it's just on you to suck it up.
I gotta do it.
It's like, someone's gotta fucking save the family. So let's do it. I love it.
Me too.
I think the game is truly outstanding so far. I think it's brilliant. But it's truly outstanding because the characters are fucking awesome. I know. Now, this is a compliment, but it's a thing which I'm going to use to criticize the Veilgaurd later on. I'm also going to use it to criticize Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh,
a thing that I love in this game.
How much do you know about Veilgaurd already that you're criticizing it? I have been in a embargo.
Yeah.
I've seen the gameplay trailer, and I have barred myself from everything.
I've seen no gameplay trailer. I've really tried to keep away from absolutely everything. The thing I do know, I know two things. Harding is the most beautiful creature to ever exist.
Harding's beautiful.
And I believe all characters can be all romanceable characters can be romanced by anyone.
Yeah.
That I think is a flaw. Have we talked about this before on the show?
We've talked about this.
Have we talked about it on the show?
We've not talked about it on the show, but no.
And it's a thing in Baldur's Gate 3, which anyone could be romanced by anyone. And I don't even want to hear that you think that it's pansexual representation to have everybody be pansexual. Not even remotely.
Not even remotely. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
I am the most aggressively bisexual person on the planet Earth.
It does nothing because
people are different.
People are
different.
And you know what's fun? We can draw a parallel with the character who I'm playing in Dragon Age 2. She stands for nothing, so she just kind of makes every decision, and everyone is neutral. There's no, like, hard belief system there. And if you have everyone be pansexual, there is zero representation in it. It's like, if everyone can romance everyone, nothing is interesting in that.
Yeah.
The thing that I like about Origins, and the thing that I like about this, is that I have, like, people like a certain type of person, and it also that makes runs different because you're picking different characters to be fully different people. And it's a thing that I really like in this, where it's like, if I start doing this morally, Fenris is never gonna fucking date me because I'm against him morally. And it might not be like a thing where it's admittedly in this game it's different because everyone's a human, so everyone's at least attracted to humans. But I think it's more interesting than being able to romance anyone, and it's a thing that I applaud this game for. Is like making decisions is difficult.
Really affects how people feel about you in a real impactful way. One that can't be hand waved with your magical coercion like in Origins. Like people really fucking care about the choices you make.
Even in Origins, it's like, so there's a thing which I know about, which if you're a female elf and you date Alistair, if you make him king, he breaks up with you because he's like, well, I can't do that for political reasons. I think that is,
or you can stay his consort, you can be his whore.
And that's so incredibly interesting. Which in a game, if he was attracted to everyone and everything, it doesn't matter. It's like that's going to be a thing that's just less interesting.
It wouldn't be a part of the story. It wouldn't be anything.
I would rather play a character. I would rather have someone be fleshed out to the point where they have a preference, because that's part of character, than have everyone be like, oh, well, I'm attracted to everyone, which I just think is less interesting.
I agree. And I want to be able to engage. And like, people are trying to, I've seen some people try to convince me.
No, they're wrong.
That everyone is pansexual in a way that is meaningful. Like that. And I'm like, what? How? Like, are they all, when I play this game, if everyone is bringing up some sort of personal journey about their specific journey with sexuality, I will eat my hat. I will put it right in my mouth. I really will. I will absolutely walk this back, and I will do it on the podcast for all to listen to. But I just don't believe you. I don't think that that's the case, and I think it is just a cop-out.
It's just a cop-out. It's just for ease sake, so that people... It's the type of thing that people can call... that companies, not people, companies can call representation to not have to put effort into doing it.
Right.
And it makes me... It infuriates me.
It's an irritating thing because in Inquisition, which I know you know at least this part, because we have a couple of characters that are explicitly gay and a couple of characters that are explicitly bi, and in Inquisition, and not all of the gay characters have a relationship to homophobia, which I think is good, but one does, and it is written by a gay man who is on the writers team for Inquisition. and draws on some personal experience, but then extrapolated into a fantasy element. It's imperfect. It's not, I think that there's reason to want more and more interesting things, but not less.
Yeah.
Not and we could do a whole thing where I also I get why a lot of people are hesitant to have or experience or play with different kinds of bigotry in their tabletop role-playing games, which is entirely fair. But I also find that sometimes when you are opting in and want to explore those kinds of stories, especially when they relate to stories of your own, then that is not something that we should write off as a method of exploring stories.
Not at all.
I mean, otherwise no one would play Bluebeard's Bride, which is explicitly a story about engaging with sexism and sexual violence and things like that. In domestic violence. It's a inherently traumatizing content, including game, but it is one with the intent of putting that in your hands and letting you kind of explore it in a safe way. Anyway,
I agree with you. For it's worth, you are 100% correct.
Yeah. So sometimes I want to explicitly play out a gay romance with a gay character who has a story related to their sexuality. And in Veilgaurd, I also know, I don't know, I'm hoping that the two trans characters that Inquisition has introduced to us, or that Dragon Age as a whole has introduced to us, are present in some way. And I'm hoping that their stories have some kind of depth or meaning to them. And I it would be nice. Anyway, that's how I feel.
I agree with you. I think and that's a thing which I like in this game. Is I like the fact that, so for example, in Origins, it was fun when I had the chance to romance him, because I was playing a guy, and I was like, oh my god, that's fun. Oh my god, I didn't realize you were into that. That's so fun. I mean, what an exciting little opportunity. And that makes it just makes it more interesting than if it's I could fuck anyone, so I don't care. I don't know. It's a thing which
Speaking of, because you did bring up Baldur's Gate 3, which I have started playing again now that my computer is fixed.
Hip hip hooray.
And I just got last night to the party after the Goblin Camp thing is resolved. And literally everyone was like, we all want to fuck you.
Yeah.
Which one of us are you gonna?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. That is not. My expectations were so much higher for the romance in this game. What are you talking about?
It's crazy, and it's like it just makes the characters less full in a world where it's in a game where so many aspects of them are full. There's so many.
Everything else about them seems so fleshed out, and that was
and it's just weird,
so bizarre to me.
It's just hey, this is a dating sim now. Pick one who you want to fuck, and then that's the thing.
But most dating sims I play would never let me fuck a character that I had never spoken to groundwork with. So I wound up, but just for a little extra tidbit, I did fuck Baldur's Gate Fenris. And because I had let him bit me, and we had a little bit of we actually had been flirting, so it actually seemed not like everyone else seemed, which was totally out of the
And do you know what's
blue.
really interesting about this as well? Hi, welcome to Dorkspawn, a Baldur's Gate 3 podcast. What's interesting about this is that Lae'zel has a moment where she
screamed at me.
I don't know about that, but there's a moment which pretty much everyone has had where she comes to you and is like, you are so good in battle, I want to have sex with you. And that, her doing this, because she can do it, she just does it at some point in Act 1. She's like, I actually want to fuck you because you're really good in fights. And that is characterful because it's weird that she's doing that. Unlike the camp scene where you can just kind of take your pick of whoever, because then it's just like okay, I'm just taking a pick of someone. But and it's weird to give it that she has a moment of being like, hey, do you want to have sex? Because I think because she wants to have sex with you because you're good at killing things. And it's like, oh, right. Interesting. That's a weird thing to do. Whereas in the camp, it's stupid to me. Yeah. Anyway.
No,
it kind of takes away... Silly. Everyone then wanting a romance scene with you takes away the fact that someone goes out of their way to say, hey, I want to have sex with you. Anyway, it's a thing which...
Can I make one other observation about Baldur's Gate Fenris, which his name is Astarion, and I forgot that for a minute, which is why I've been calling him that. Everyone, this is just after having that sex scene with him in camp, which was so good.
Yeah, sex scenes in this game are really good.
Oh,
Crazy,
so good.
Dude. They're really strong.
The build up to it, the everything about it, hot. Everyone who is drawing art and fanficking about this man as if he is a dominant top. Give me a break. Are you kidding
I'm telling
me?
You right now, the Baldur's Gate 3 fans love to misinterpret who Astarion is. They love it. It's literally their favorite activity. It's crazy.
God.
To the point where...
He needs explicit permission in writing to touch me at all. The man is unbelievably submissive. It's you need to send a notarized letter to... and it needs to be dated and sealed in order for him to approach you in any way.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He's a little bratty guy. But then again, so this is a problem that's been brought up a lot recently because literally today, patch 7 came out, which adds an evil ending to everyone's run. And it's Larian Studios have said, this is it. We are done with Baldur's Gate 3. This is our final patch. We'll do some quality of life stuff. We are 100% out. A lot of the community have talked about how Will has not only, I think in total, 4 to 5 hours less content than Astarion does. Not only that, but he's had content taken away from him. Not in this patch specifically, but in a previous patch. One of the big Will's huge final solo mission, this is his moment.
I hate this. I want him to be my best friend. I think that's what I want.
One of his giant finale things, which it's weird anyway because it's not a big finale moment for him. It's a big finale moment for the storyline of Baldur's Gate 3. But they actually took it away from him and then just put it in the main quest line. So he doesn't even have to be involved in it to do this. So not only does he have 5 hours less he has the least amount of content of anyone. Not only does he have 5 hours less content than Astarion, he's also had a main storyline stripped from him.
Just taken to be less
all of the community have this thing where they're like, oh my god, Astarion would take you out on dates and take you dancing and do all this stuff. And there's a big thing of people being like, everyone who says Astarion does this are just talking about what Will does.
Will actually does. canonically in the game.
Second romance scene, he teaches you to dance a ball with him. Will does, because Will is Prince Charming, and he's.
I've seen that cutscene. Even I haven't gotten it myself, but I've seen.
For people who don't know,
video
Momo,
of that
who's
one.
my partner, she has made about 5 or 6 different characters. She's never finished the game, but she keeps doing it. She has a real fucking hard time not romancing Will because he is literally Prince Charming, which she loves more than anything.
He's a Disney prince.
Absolutely,
it's actually the most Momo
move ever.
Romance in the game. And of course.
People, the fans of this game, love to attribute Will's traits to Astarion, and also give Astarion traits that are to the point where they are talking about a character that doesn't exist in the game. They're talking about someone completely different who just looks like a fucking white-haired Tumblr sexy man.
Right. I will get into this more when we start talking about. This was a long episode, so I'm not, because I will go on a full tirade.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours.
Next week is a shorter episode, and I may get into my favorite fandom misinterpretations of characters.
Oh,
in the
that's
Dragon
interesting.
Age
I actually do like
fandom.
that. Because fan misinterpretations is something that I am pretty passionate about, because I'm passionately against.
My worst ones are about Inquisition, but there are some that I have about Origins and
That's
2.
really cool. I'm into that, actually. That sounds awesome.
Great.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to bring up the points of why I like it so much in next week's episode.
Excellent.
So, Dillin, what are we doing next week?
Next week, we're going to be playing one of the DLCs of this game. So we are going to be playing the Legacy DLC. So, like, all right, there's going to be some unavoidable stuff when you start Act 2. You'll get, like, you'll talk to some people or whatever. But, like, the quests that you want to do.
You want to go home as immediately and then pick up one of the weird statues.
And do Legacy. And you're going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's not going to be, like, as long as this one. And so we will have some extra time to talk about other things.
I have a feeling
what I want.
that the Dragon Age 2 episodes are going to be the longest episodes that we're going to be doing. Because we're doing entire
I think it's
acts,
going to be,
which is a million fucking side stories, and then it's us, so we're going to go on tangents about shit as well.
Yeah. And I feel like in the shorter episodes, like for the DLCs, I'm going to add stuff. Like, I already plan to talk about my fandom opinions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Does Andraste have any words for us?
I think that the closest one I have right now is that jealousy and torment consumed them all, for no dreamer wished to aid the others in the least measure, yet none could bear that rivals might walk in the light of their gods when they did not.
Nice. And with that...
It's from the Canticle of Silence.
Hate you. And with that.
Bastards.
Fucking dork-ass losers. Your struggles have only just begun.
And now we can quit.